Good morning, good evening. It is the 30th of December in Australia. I think it's still the 29th where you guys are in the US. Sunday evening. Bitcoin and across the board, all crypto has been retracing over the last number of hours. Let's see how many hours it's been. Like 10 hours, 12, something like that. I'm just going to talk about Bitcoin and where it's at. So let's take off these lines for a second. Hope everyone had a good Christmas. Spent time with family or just relaxed, like whatever you did. Hope you enjoyed it. So with Bitcoin, I've got this trend line going here, mainly for this point here, this wick down pivot meeting that pivot there. So if you've got A, B, then it produced C right here. And then also we're testing that line once more right now as a D potential test of support. If we lose that, then it's like, okay, well then we have to start reassessing what trend we're following, you know, where things are going to go from there. But let's check out. We did have a falling wedge on Bitcoin. Thanks to these positions, A, B, C, D, which causes two trend lines. And right now we're sort of, look at how we're marrying up with the top of that wedge as a bounce. And then also this big old lazy trend line coming out from below. That could be enough. We'll see. I mean, it could break as well, but this could be enough to get us to bounce from here. But we've got a lot of work to do to get back up. At least, you know, even just to 100,000. But all-time highs are a ways up here. They're like, you know, 108,353 is what I've got here. So that's pretty much how I see it at the moment. There's a couple of highs here. I just want to see if they link up with anything in the past. Let's have a look. Why is my magnet not working? That tool, there we go. Okay. Let me just turn on the extension to the left. So yeah, nothing really links up there. Is there anything up here? No. So it's pretty much the A, C coming down and linking up and providing support as we're trying to bounce. Trying to do a bounce off the flipper. It's a very crazy like retest because it's just been a bleed out as the year rounds out. So my kind of feeling for it is that perhaps this is, like, from a bullish perspective, this is the last push down of liquidity, to grab long liquidity before moving up. And I'll show you the heat map. Where's the heat map here? Liquidation heat map for Bitcoin. You can see if there's anything notable below us or anything that has just recently been grabbed. So yeah, we still have a lot of liquidity sitting just below us locally, so we can deal with all that. If we push down to 90,000 even, that would clear out all of this long liquidity. But can you see that the short liquidity is starting to build as well? It's been building all weekend basically. Let's see how bright it's getting. Let me go back to the 1 week view if it'll load. There we go. So yeah, look at all that long liquidity below us. There's so much of it. So many people are opening leverage longs right now, or at least have been in the last, 72 hours. If we go down to the smallest time frame, the 12-hour, this is a very local cluster, like a local view of where the liquidations live. So the last few minutes, Bitcoin has seen a little bit of an uptick. Same with, and look at XRP, by the way. I'll just bring this up while we're here. You've got this pivot here linking up with sort of this pivot and then that pivot. And then just like Bitcoin, we broke out of it looking okay. Almost did a back test, but we have not managed to reclaim $2.20 on XRP. So, but look at where we're getting like a reaction. Look at that, right on the line, right on it. And this, let's go down to the 5-minute chart. See that? Like, that's crazy. It's like the chart knows that that line is there. So that's when you know you got your lines in the right place, I guess. Go up to the 4-hour chart. That line started way back here on the 17th of December. That peak that we got. What's up, Billy Bob? What's up, Andine? Hey, yo. You can see that the recent swing down has basically done a swing fail below that point. Let me see if it's a double bottom or whether it fell shy. It fell shy of getting that low there. So that's like the extreme low of this cluster. How many days has it been? 2 weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 days. 10, let's call it 10. And then this is the big challenge, is to maintain this low here. So we've got this big old yellow line coming up from these two pivots here. That pivot and this pivot, giving us this line. And we just have to see if XRP is going to hold that yellow line. Because if not, that's trouble. That spells trouble for further downside. But and then you've got obviously the supports of this SR, like these support lines going across. These are price levels of basically $1.95, $1.96, and then $1.90 on XRP. So we'll see how that pans out. Melis Metal Fab, thanks for the content, Mr. Rick. You're welcome. Is it Melis? I'm just gonna call you Melis. So look at this. We're gunning back to maybe test a trend line. Let's see if there's any kind of trends to be aware of on XRP at the moment locally. Not really. Maybe you could argue that, see, things aren't happening too uniform on the top side here. Without cutting off other price action, you can't get too much uniformity. If you're talking super local, like right here, maybe that's a line that is in play at the moment. This is down on the very low time frame, like the 1 minute. And yeah, it's not terribly, it's not looking terribly strong until we start breaking structure back to the upside. know, we are downtrending. We are correcting. Same for Bitcoin, right? All the zigzags are pointing down at the moment. This is like our last line of defense for the bulls, is this trend line coming up, I would say. Because you can see all these lows are getting gradually higher. Like, this is a line of defense. So if it holds, fantastic. This actually may be a really good time to open a long. Not financial advice, like this is not instruction, this is just an idea. Is that when something like this happens, when you have a big old trend line like this, you can set a long quite cheaply. As in, if you got long here, your stop loss only has to be here to get invalidated, right? So that's a cheap stop out. Like that's a good position to take. And it's the same with the alts. Like this would have been a good position to take too, because you're testing the top of a trend line. Invalidation's very close by. So you could have got long on the... This was even a double bottom, if you see there. Big W, double bottom. And now we're sort of trying to spring back up. So let's see if this is the bounce we're after. Things have bled out for 12 hours, so if you get long around here, you're not too late, I think. Jimmy Johnson, what's up? Yep, I'm just glad we have more opportunities to buy in. I like that mindset. I like that mindset. So this is the last like 48 hours. We've got Monday, Tuesday left of 2024. And let's see what it brings. So far, it's been kind of brutal with the correction, kind of scary. Like we're just, to be honest, all we did was we visited the bottom of the range. Like we had these lows here, all of these lows clustered. And then we've just come down to the bottom of the range. What's the top of the range? Probably like, you know, there's a high here, there's a high here. There's a few highs clustered over here. And we haven't really come up to the top area of this range in some time. If you take this whole section. I mean, this is an outlier. This is a freak. It's a freak push down. But yeah, maybe you could argue that that's like an extreme. Like maybe you could come and test that with a spike down, but for the most part, I think there's a lot of reason to go back up after visiting these lows here. So yeah, I mean, that move to come back up to that circle up there. If you're just trading the range, longing from here to the top of the range gets you like 10% on XRP. It's a pretty solid move. And we've been like spending more time bottom of the range lately, you know, all of that action there, than being high and spending time, you know, testing the tops. It's more heavily weighted to the bottom side. So could that mean that we're due to break down? That there's just weakness in the market at the moment? I think that leading up into Christmas, there's been such low market participation that, you know, all you're going to do is get some like bleed outs at best. I think the volume's probably down. Let's check. Let's just check volume. Yeah, you can see the volume is just all the way turned down. No one's really been... Go on the daily. Yeah, look at the daily chart. Look at the volume, how it's just tapering off till the end of the year. Hopefully January, come January 1st, we get a pickup in volume once again. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. That's quiet. That's gone very quiet in the market. I'm going to open up the volume indicator on Bitcoin. Let's see what's going on there too. I would say it's probably... Oh, there's a couple of pickups. This is only the 15-minute though. Let me go to the daily. Yeah, on average, this is what this white line is. It's an average line for the volume. And it's kind of pointing down we are losing volume, which means it doesn't mean that we have to go down because the volume's dropped out. It just means there's not as many people trading at the moment, which is to be expected. It's Christmas, right? Christmas, New Year. It's a bit of a lull. Let's check out what the last Christmas, New Year did, volume-wise. This is a very strange chart. Look at all this volume here, and then it just drops off. It's like people left. This is Binance. So, did Binance like block users at one point? Because it just seemed to turn off at the end of March there. It just turned off. It's like a whole bunch of people just stopped trading on Binance and they've gone somewhere else. Let's open up the Bitcoin index then. This is an index of all exchanges across the board. So once again, volume turning down. Where's December of 2023? Yeah, look at that. Okay, so you had... There's Christmas. You had a bit more activity, because we had something around the corner here. We had the ETF approval, which caused these spikes in volume and activity. And then it didn't take long before the inflows started coming in. You had pickups in volume. But then we went through that period of like falling highs, falling lows. It's been a very tumultuous year. J.A. Vanderwerk says, do you expect Doge to be following the same? Yes. Also, would the inauguration of Trump influence its course? Sort of buy the rumor, sell the news sort of thing. Yes. I think there's a good chance that January could cause like a surge leading up to the inauguration of Donald Trump. And then I would be extremely cautious of holding positions open on inauguration day, like, because there could be a flash crash, like, you know, a sell the news type thing. So just be vigilant. Maybe trail it, the whole thing, with a stop loss would be my opinion on it. Not advice, but just my opinion. If you're in longs from last year, like, I wouldn't even be concerned. Like, you know, if you're an investor, it's just another news event in the broad picture. Like, it's not something to cause you to close out positions, because I think there's still a lot of bull run left of of this cycle into 2025. 2025 should be a good year, even though we've been sort of slumped for the last 2 weeks off the high for Bitcoin. Like, we've had, you know, this. It's a little bit sobering, right? But how many days has it been? Almost 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks down off the high. So, Dogecoin. Let's have a look at Dogecoin. So Dogecoin, much like XRP and Bitcoin, has broken out of this downtrend, and perhaps it's looking for the back test at, say, 31 cents before, you know, getting a reaction and bouncing off the flipper, so to speak. But there's been a couple of trend lines on Doge, actually. Let's see if they link up. There's this one. Make it a different color so you can see it. Know whether that cuts across. Perhaps it does. Just cut off that little line there, just so that you get some more uniformity of the trend line. And then from the bottom side, maybe something like this. Yeah, the trend line from the lows is a lot more uniform. I think it goes something like that. So this one could be up here. It could also be down here like this. I don't know, something like that. Let's just split it down the middle. Let's call it that. But either way you look at it, Doge is definitely squeezing right now. There's a squeeze going on. And if you want to get real technical, it is maybe a bull pennant because we've come up from below into it like this. But hopefully we get that textbook resolution of it breaking out. It would also play into us breaking out of this falling trend line here, you know, bouncing off it after rechecking it, because this would be the recheck right now on Dogecoin, the recheck. Hopefully that helps. But look, we're coming up on a new year, like this is the end of the year, so things could really shake up. Let's check on the daily. I don't know if altcoins really do much once the brand new year starts. I mean, last time Doge got a dump back down to 7 cents on the 2nd or 3rd of January after a bleed out for the back end of December last year, and then it just dropped. That doesn't mean that has to happen this time, but how much of that rhymes? December. So December has kind of had a bleed out. And then in December, are we due to come down and drop and test like 20 cents or something? I mean, it's not impossible, but it'd be nasty. Or maybe we can back check this high here, which is like 23 cents. Just buying opportunities, really, I think. But, I mean, what happened on the other December for Dogecoin? Another, like, okay, here we go, December, similar. It bled out in December. And then, you know, into the new year, there was a tiny drop there, which was followed up by a rip. But then it dumped, gave the whole thing back. So, yeah, but that was the bear market year, remember? So there was a lot of reasons to go down anyway. You know, we were going into an accumulation at that point, so totally different market phase back then compared to where we are at now. Let's see if I can get a longer Doge chart. This is better. Okay. So 2020. This was the bull year going into 2021. Okay. So this is days. This is going off the days. So here you can see 1st of January was a huge explosion upwards. It'd be really cool if we repeated that on Dogecoin. That was the last time we had a election year going into year one. But however, that was the Biden administration start, 2021. I think, was it? Yeah. He's done 2024, 23, 22, and 21. Yeah. So in that 4 years, we had a Dogecoin all-time high. This is back where Elon Musk bought Twitter and turned it into X. This was the start of the year, the ETF inflows on Bitcoin causing, a market-wide rally. Dogecoin saw some love and got up here, 23 cents. But that Twitter pump only took it to 16, not very high compared to where we've come up to now. We almost made it to 50 cents recently on Dogecoin. Doge is quite volatile. You can see it moves in very big steps, and so something radical into January I don't think is outlandish to say. I think something crazy could happen. We'll see how it pans out, but yeah, it's your guess is as good as mine at this point, because you're just guessing really about how January is going to behave. Like the inauguration thing, Elon Musk, like, you know, that whole partnership with Trump and Elon Musk, like the friendship they have and all that, that is optimistic for crypto and inherently Dogecoin. So maybe that's a reason to go up into the inauguration, but we'll see. This is exciting times. Final 2 days of this year. This year has been a good year, really, even though the bulk of it was spent in this ugly reaccumulation funnel. Like, we've been bouncing in that. But, you know, we started it real strong. We got that ETF inflow. We ended it really strong. Brand new all-time highs. You know, bull market turning on, basically. So it's just that the middle chunk was just very testing. It was a big old bull flag, really. Or the handle to a cup and handle. You want to look at it that way. But yeah, looking at the macro here, you can see that a retest or a recheck of 74,000 wouldn't be abnormal. I think it'd be pretty devastating on the short time frame, but it wouldn't kill the bull market. It wouldn't be enough to kill the bull market. You can still come down to that level and get a bounce and turn the market back on as well. It'd be very volatile, but yeah, it's not impossible. So I'll be looking for that too. Maybe it happens quite rapidly, and maybe we're looking down the barrel of it right now, to be honest, as we're kind of retracing here. You know, we're really threatening those lines. If we go back to this chart. Yeah, look. This white line here, coming up from the south. If that breaks, it's like, shit, we have to start looking left at you know, previous pivots for any kind of support. We've got 90,000. Remember the liquidation heat map, there's reasons to come down here to 90,000 even, just to clear out all of this long liquidity here. I don't think that's crazy. I think that's pretty, you could almost expect it, really. So yeah, there's maybe a bit more pain over the next 2 days, the next 48 hours, the last couple of days in 2024. A little bit more pain to go before we break through the clouds, perhaps. My prediction for 2025, which could be violently wrong, but what I see is that 2025 is the rest of our bull market. I think we'll probably find an all-time high in Q3 to Q4 of next year. I would like to see Bitcoin above $200,000. That would be pretty awesome. I don't know what's going to happen. I think a lot depends on like catalysts coming out of the USA with Donald Trump and his office, like his cabinet of people being pro-crypto. You know, a new SEC chair's coming in. There's a lot of optimism. There's a lot of hope on the table. We just have to see if it follows through. Like, hopefully, you know, he keeps that theme rolling into the actual office. Because you know how a lot of people that come in, they'll make promises in the campaign, and then when they actually get into the job, they change focus, or they lose focus on what they were campaigning about. So hopefully that's not the case this time around. Hopefully they do continue to be positive about cryptocurrency in general. But we will see what happens. I know a lot of them are invested in crypto. JD Vance, Elon Musk is probably invested. Donald Trump, of course, has Ethereum and Bitcoin and a whole bunch of other things as well. He's even got his own crypto, I think. But he's got NFTs. He's got like these. Yeah, he's involved. He knows about it. He was at the 2024 Bitcoin conference as a guest speaker. I don't know if you guys saw that. Let me see if I can find a link to the video, and I'll share it in the general chat or in the YouTube chat. Let's have a look. Donald Trump Bitcoin conference. Here we go. This is his speech in full. So maybe that's worth having a look at before he gets inaugurated. Boom. Right there. I won't play it on my stream just because I don't want to get flagged for copyright or anything like that. We got 26 people in the house. Smash up the like button, guys. See if we can get some more people to come through. Still got a number of hours before the daily close, but if we go on the daily chart, the Saturday candle was a little bit, it didn't really do too much for us, did it? Saturday the 28th, but the Sunday 29th has been pretty devastating. Bit of a retracement. Monday, is it going to be a bloody Monday? Potentially so. Of course, I mean, that's an easy call. Potentially. What's the S&P doing? The S&P 500. The Friday candle. Could this be a hammer? If we go on to the futures. Futures opens in an hour and 40 minutes. S&P 500 futures. It's like the E-minis kind of thing. So we'll see where they start to speculate. But the thing is with futures, you don't get too many giant moves happening on futures. It's you know, the volume's just not there for it, but it can give you an indication of like where things might open. It's a long ways out until the market opens for the S&P 500. Let's see, how many hours is it until pre-market? Even just pre-market is 11 hours and 40 minutes away. So still a bit of time. You can see in the post-market session, it just went flat. Anyway, let's go back to this triple view. We've got Bitcoin, XRP, and DOGE all lined up. You can see there's a couple of like similarities between Bitcoin and DOGE here. You can see there's especially lately there's like this rising trend line on both. XRP's got like a flat, like it's not rising, it's if anything it's falling, which is kind of spooky. But in the last like hour, or since I turned the stream on, we did have a little bit of a bounce, like a bit of a pickup, but I don't know if it's been enough to pivot the market back the opposite way. But it's been half an hour since I turned the stream on. But anyway, this wasn't meant to be like a big long stream or anything. I just wanted to touch base, wrap the year up. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow on, as You know, we're facing the end of the year. New Year's Eve. But yeah, I guess the biggest thing, the biggest question at the moment is that will Bitcoin lose this support line? Will XRP get new lows? Will it go back below $2? Will Dogecoin also lose its trend line? It probably will if Bitcoin does. But I think you're going to find that Doge echoes whatever Bitcoin does. Similar with XRP, everything looks to Bitcoin. That's always been the case. A lot of the market, most of the time, Bitcoin holds the key to the market. And where does Bitcoin get influence from? That is the stock market. And this is why I look at the stock market, because there is a lot of directional influence off the stock market. It's pretty much how I do it. That's what I look at. That's what I look at. Others may look at other things, but some people even look at the moon. But yeah, I guess that'll be the topic of the next stream, is just to see how Bitcoin behaved with this low here. We'll see if XRP holds this low, and then of course if Doge breaks down below 30 cents again. But it would be lovely to see it bounce. You know, a bit of a rally to round the year off, but you know, we'll see. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate your support, and I'll catch you in the next stream, possibly tomorrow. I might do like a New Year's Eve stream. Realistic target for Doge if we go into a bull market, I think $1 is a nice number. I think that's quite realistic. I think you can go beyond $1, but we'll see. We'll see. It rides on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin rides on the stock market. The stock market needs to rally back up and go into price discovery before we can get too excited about crypto. I think the stock market is our green light to upside. But anyway, thanks guys again. I'll see you on the next stream.